My name is Parker Stanberry. I am the founder and CEO of a company called Oasis, as we see here on the bouncing screen. Oasis is a concept that we think of as a deconstructed hotel, or Hotel 2.0, which basically aims to combine the branded consistency, service, and amenities of a great hotel with all the advantages of shared or on-demand accommodations, which are, authenticity, space, variety, value, etc. I founded the company 8 years ago. It's been a wild ride. Started in my expat apartment in Buenos Aires and have grown it through plenty of ups and downs to 150 people in 22 cities around the world, a portfolio of 2,500 upscale accommodations that we work with. Today I want to talk a little bit about this concept of Hotel 2.0 and what that means in the ever-evolving hospitality landscape. So a couple of buzzwords that everyone has heard plenty is authentic, travel and experiences. Authentic travel, local experiences, but with good reason. In a recent survey from American Express Travel, 73% of Americans said they would be willing to exceed their budget to have a unique local experience when they travel. People are just increasingly embracing this concept, especially younger travelers, and shying away from cookie-cutter options. The likes of Airbnb, HomeAway, and VRBO have sprung up to address this need, and filling this kind of voracious pent-up demand that traditional hotels weren't really fulfilling. That being said, there is a clear downside to these platforms, and that is they haven't really mastered the consistency factor, the branded consistency, the service element that the traditional hospitality sector has been delivering for 200 years, right? This is maybe an exaggeration of most rental platform listings, but it is still it's come a long way since I booked my expat apartment in Buenos Aires on Craigslist in 2006, but it is still far from a seamless or delightful experience too often, right? Which is why more people aren't fully embracing the concept. The rise of technology obviously was the enabler for these concepts, the home sharing platforms. And there's so much information out there, but all too often the amount of information can seem less helpful and more like a deluge. If you Google the best restaurant in Manhattan, you get 6 million results, and they don't all lead you to the same restaurant. So the lifeline out of that sort of overabundance of information and the kind of paradox of choice can often come in the form of curation, and a trusted brand that delivers a level of curation and establishes a clear point of view that the traveler or user can trust versus having to dive through this sort of infinite supply of information and options. Similarly, while there is this wealth of information out there, there's a limit to most people's desire to navigate the world alone. A travel agent or a travel advisor can be nice when you're thinking about designing an itinerary, but they can be fundamental if flights are canceled or a hurricane upends your entire itinerary. In that situation, when travel plans go awry, that's where the old-fashioned concept of a human helping hand comes in handy versus a 1-800 number with a tree of options or a stupid bot. So when I set out to create Oasis, the goal was really, as I said, to kind of bring what I learned from hotels, being sort of a lover of boutique hotels and a frequent traveler, sort of bring those elements, high level of design, an in-the-know concierge, a vibrant social space, bring all those elements into the world of home sharing and really kind of ram them together and create the best of both worlds. Part of this is curation, as I said, and that starts with curating a very refined selection of homes, a very refined selection of partners. We curate our own city guides, etc. Part and parcel is also the concept of personalization. There's curation, there's personalization. They're sort of tied together. But the personalization that we're able to do based on our model of working with unique accommodations and not being tied to one building with sort of one room type and one gym, et cetera, it really brings a whole new element to the party and is something that travelers are really cheering for. So we have this concept called the sidekick, where we have local teams on the ground in all of our 22 destinations. The minute you make your booking, you're put in touch with one of these folks, and they can help you with advanced restaurant reservations, itineraries, any sort of guidance you need prior to your stay. They then greet you in person, so there's no key exchange craziness. They greet you in person at the apartment, they give you a tour, and they survive essentially as a very in-the-know concierge throughout your stay. To sort of explain this in a little more illustrative detail, this is Sasha and James from LA who are traveling to London for a week. Sasha visits our site and browses a curated selection of about 100 homes in London's best neighborhoods. Every one of those has been personally vetted by our team, comes with professional cleaning, fresh linens, and boutique toiletries. She can't make up her mind, so she contacts an Oasis reservation specialist, who, given his familiarity with London, is able to direct her to the perfect option for her. Upon arrival, they're greeted by one of our sidekicks, who checks them in, gives them a tour, and serves as the concierge resource for the rest of their stay. On the first night, James is eager to check out the food scene, so he opens up our curated city guide, messages the sidekick, and has a reservation made at one of the hot new restaurants in town. After a few days, Sasha's in need of some exercise. She visits our app and notices that as an Oasis guest, she has a pass to 10 Health and Fitness, one of our fitness partners in London, and she's off to the gym. She also notices that as an Oasis guest, she has access to a private members club called the South Kensington Club, and makes plans to visit with James and a friend later that night for drinks. So as I said, what we've essentially done here is deconstructed the hotel, taking apart the pieces of the hotel experience and putting them back together in a very unique way that lends an element of personalization and sort of a la carte experience to the whole travel process. You're probably thinking, wow, okay, this sounds cool but very expensive, right? It's personalized service, concierge, access to members clubs, all these perks. It's actually not. And this is, again, the beauty of the sort of asset-light, on-demand economy at its best. An ADR for a typical London one-bedroom with all those services included is £180 a night. That's about 40% less than a traditional 4-star London hotel. And when you combine the price point with the personalization and the perks, it really is an unbeatable value proposition that we're able to deliver in large part because we're not paying for room service staff. We don't have overhead on a gym that only maybe 15% of the people use. We're delivering people, to Brian's point, we're leveraging partnerships really and underutilized assets to deliver this a la carte set of options that enables really high personalized service at a very low price point. And interestingly, a couple months ago, Hyatt made a strategic investment in our company, I think in many ways validating the kind of Hotel 2.0 concept, in that while Hyatt does an amazing job with traditional accommodations, more and more of their travelers were looking for something like this. We are now part of the Unbound Collection, which is a soft brand they created about 18 months ago, where you have individually branded hotels, and now with Oasis experiences. So I look forward to working with them to create the next version of Hotel 2.0 over the coming years. Thanks very much.